All right, you guys, let's have a conversation after the smoke has cleared and the dust has settled. The Detroit Lions picked Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan Robinson. Now, I was initially shocked because normally when you're thinking about taking a running back, you take the best running back. But then I had to think about it too that the Lions in the offseason picked up David Montgomery. So grabbing Bijan Robinson and having David Montgomery would probably not mesh as well. You need that guy that's going to be explosive. You're going to need that guy that can catch out the backfield. And not saying that Bijan Robinson can't do any of this, because if you watch his film and you understand what Bijan Robinson brings to the table, he does the same exact things with that Jahmyr Gibbs does. You know, Jahmyr Gibbs has that explosiveness, being able to catch out of the backfield, and definitely, man, is one of those running backs that you're going to have to really do your homework on, because the Lions are going to use him in a plethora of different ways. But at the end of the day, you know, man, we could have had Bijan Robinson. Now, the Lions could have took him at 6. I think the reason why the Lions didn't take Bijan Robinson at 6 is because they probably thought that he was probably going to fall. And you did not think that the Falcons would go up and get Bijan Robinson, because they just had a rookie running back last season who rushed over 1,000 yards. I forgot what his name, but I think it's the kid from BYU. He rushed over 1,000 yards. And you thought that ultimately at the end of the day that the Falcons would probably go in a different direction. And I'm thinking that the Lions probably bet on it, that they can fall later in the draft and get Bijan Robinson then. But it didn't go that way. So, you know, we don't know initially what made Detroit come up so high to get Jahmyr Gibbs. There was so many conversations on why the Lions came up and got him at 12. Because other teams were going to come up and get him. But he wasn't the only running back that can catch out of the backfield that was explosive. If you saw the kid from Tulane, Tajay Spears, that dude is nice as well, catching out of the backfield. There's a couple other running backs. The kid from Texas A&M too. I think his name is David something. Can't remember his last name, but I think his name is David. I think he was one of the most. He had one of the best 40 times in the combine this season. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I think the reason why the Lions went with Gibbs is because Bijan Robinson did not fall the way that they probably thought he would fall to them if they would trade back or whatever. And probably they had their sights on getting Bijan. Now, we'll never know, and the Lions will probably never tell us this. But you can't go wrong with either guy. I always wanted to talk about this conversation because I think that either guy can bring a lot to the table. Both guys can line up in the slot. If you ever watch Bijan Robinson, he has been in the slot too as well, and has been a running back that can go out and play receiver as well. You better go watch the tape on Bijan Robinson, because everything that Jahmyr Gibbs can do, Bijan Robinson can do it. Now, if you're talking about how explosive he does it, maybe that might be something that you're looking at. But at the same time, the Lions, you know, you can't go wrong with either guy. Both guys are explosive. Both guys are going to give you what you need. And I think that they probably just figured, like, grabbing Jahmyr Gibbs would be more dynamic, having him to go alongside David Montgomery, because the Lions shocked us initially. Nobody knew that the Detroit Lions was going to go after David Montgomery. We thought that the Lions would re-sign Jamal Williams. That did not happen. The Lions went in a total different direction. The Lions this season shocked a lot of people because they did a lot of things that they don't normally do. You know, there was an article wrote up on Brad Holmes saying that he doesn't really value linebackers in the first round. Guess what? He changed the game this year and went after a linebacker in the first round. He went after a linebacker in the first round this season and grabbing Jack Campbell at 18 overall. And then you come up to get a running back at 12 in Jahmyr Gibbs. So I'm definitely hoping Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be box office for the Lions, because the Lions opted to go with him instead of grabbing Bijan Robinson. Now, I don't know if the Lions wanted to pay Bijan all that type of money, because that is a lot of money when you're getting paid being a top 5 pick or top 10 pick. That is a lot of money that you're going to be getting. So either or, man, I think that Bijan Robinson would have been a great fit with the Lions. And I think the Lions would have had a generational running back. Now, the only thing I'm going to say about Jahmyr Gibbs is that's going to be a little bit different from Bijan Robinson, because when you look at Bijan is the more complete running back. He's the workhorse of a running back. When you look at Jahmyr Gibbs and you see some of the things that he has done, yes, the kid is explosive. Yes, the kid has all the intangibles to be a great running back in the NFL. But something that still has to be tried and tested is him being able to rush over 1,000 yards in a season. Him being able to get the productivity out of running the football. You know, playing running back is not just about you being able to catch out of the backfield. It's being able to run the football. And we know that that's something that DeAndre Swift, when he was with the Lions, he could do pretty good, man, when he was healthy. He could have those bursts where he would bust up the field for 20, 30, 40 yards. And that's what the Lions need. They always needed the guy that can hit the home run. And Gibbs is that guy. So I don't want you to misconstrue what I'm saying. Definitely, Jahmyr Gibbs is a great pick for the Detroit Lions. And I really, as I evaluated the tape on him and watched him several times, the guy is explosive. Yes, the guy brings a lot of things to the table. But what I want to see is, can he bring that consistency to the running back spot? Can he run up the middle? Can he, you know what I'm saying, can he do some things with that football in his hand? Can he remind you of what Jahmyr Best would have been if he would have never got a concussion? I think that Jahmyr Best could have been one of the Detroit Lions' best running backs, man, if he would have never got a concussion. That's how good Jahmyr Best was looking. And that's what we want to see out of Gibbs, man. If you're a Detroit Lion fan, you want to see Gibbs give you that explosiveness. You want to see him to be able to catch out of the backfield. You want to see him running routes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I also want to see him run the football. How well will Gibbs run the football this season? Because I know that it's going to be a run by committee, and you have him and David Montgomery running the football together. You know, whoever they decide to start first, whether it be Gibbs or Montgomery. Maybe they'll go with Montgomery because he's the veteran and he already has a taste of the NFL and knows what it's like. Or maybe they'll go with the rookie and say, hey, you know, we want you out there first because you give us the home run threat. So, you know, whether or not the Lions tell us the full truth on why they didn't select Bijan Robinson, we'll never know. You know, or maybe they'll eventually come out with it. But, you know, the Lions had an opportunity to grab Bijan Robinson. We don't know what Robinson is going to look like. The Falcons don't know what he's going to look like. We don't know. You know, if Bijan Robinson goes out there and ball and has a 1,000-yard season, then they got them a good running back. Because truly, that's what you want at the end of the day. When you go out and draft a running back as high as Gibbs and Bijan Robinson, you want that productivity from both players. And I think that the Lions are going to want the same thing from Gibbs. You know, if Gibbs has a great season for him, I think it would be like Gibbs having like 700 or 800 yards rushing with 500 yards receiving. I think that would be a great rookie season for him and about 10 touchdowns. That would be great for him to be able to do that. Because he's going to be sharing the carries with David Montgomery. Could he go over 1,000 yards? He could. But at the same time, do I think that he's going to go over 1,000? I don't know. Because of how the workload is going to be. I think they're probably going to give the guy the ball, whoever has the hot hand. But I'm sure they're going to put him in packages where they create a mismatch with him, with his explosiveness and his speed. So either way, the Lions couldn't go wrong if they would pick Robinson to be their number one running back. They couldn't go wrong with that. And they can't go wrong with Jahmyr Gibbs, who was pretty much touted to be the second running back behind Bijan Robinson. But I would also have my eyes on the kid from Tulane as well. I really like Spears, and I think that he's going to be dynamic and explosive as well. And the kid from Texas, he could be explosive as well. So you got a few other running backs like Sean Tucker and a couple other running backs that I felt like could definitely do some damage. Zach Charbonnet is definitely one of the guys that I like, and him going to Seattle, he is going to be a monster with Kenneth Walker, man. Zach Charbonnet and Ken Walker is going to be a nice combination. So we're going to see, man, what Jahmyr Gibbs is going to do in his rookie season. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel.